Hello and welcome to See What's Possible. It's the podcast brought to you by Boots Opticians that meets with some of the nation's most inspiring sports stars, media personalities and performers. We discover the secrets behind their phenomenal achievements and the mindset they instill to battle against all odds. I'm your host, Myleene Class, and today we're going to be talking about pursuing our passions, defying judgment and proving others wrong through sheer perseverance. Now, I'd like to introduce our first guest, former Pussycat doll presenter, DJ and dance school principal, Kimberly Wyatt. Now, Kimberly joined the Dolls in 2003 and the band shook up the music scene 2 years later with the release of their debut single, Don't Ya. When the group disbanded in 2010, she forged a solo career, settling in the UK and becoming a judge on Sky One's Got to Dance. Kimberly is a mum to 3 young children. She currently has a Sunday evening show on Hits Radio. Next up, rap musician LeoStayTrill. At just 18 years old, Leo has seen success beyond his years. He's been nominated for Best Newcomer at the 2025 MOBO Awards. And at 14 years old, he performed on The Voice Kids, winning praise from will.i.am. 2 years later, he released his debut single, Honey Bun, and in May 2025, his EP, Home Alone, launched, followed by a UK headline sellout tour. So, Leo, Kimberly, I mean, Muso's here. This is very exciting.
Yeah.
I wanted just to talk to you about work ethic because, Leo, I feel like you're just starting out.
Yeah.
And here, either side of you, we've seen it all, Kimberly. But I feel like you've got a really mature mindset already. You know, you're the same age as mine also, but while so many at your age are going off to uni, you're already, 4 years into your music career.
Yeah.
What does that feel like for you? Do you feel that this is the path for you, or is it weird seeing so many of your peers heading off to school?
It's not weird to me because it's like, this is what I always wanted. Do you know what I mean? And I know like I can sit and talk about music for hours. Like music
You've
is
got
actually,
the right audience.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Music is literally what I know I'm put on this earth to do. But I feel like the only thing is like, I feel a disconnect from people that are my age. And that might not even just be because I don't get to spend time with them. Even normal things. Like, for example, let me give you a good example. The smallest things about before, like, I got a bit of buzz around my name, I think it was during the summer of 2023. And I was trying to look for a job and all of these things. My mom was saying, get a job, whatever. I didn't
What did
really
she
want
want
to
you
get
to
one.
do?
She was just saying, find a job. You know what I mean? But then I always knew like I'm too stubborn to like take orders from people. So I was going to find something, whether it was freelance in some way to make money because I was not trying to work a job. And then music happened. So now I've never worked a job ever. So it's like, cool, it sounds good. But then it also like, when I'm having conversations with people that's my age, when they're going through these procedures of uni and finding jobs and all of that, I don't really understand it because I never actually went through that. And obviously like, I'm grateful for it. But then to other people, it may look like, oh, I'm not being humble. And do you know what I mean? It's just a lot of disconnect through the smallest things, whether it's not seeing each other or not relating to each other in certain things or wanting to do things that I know they can't, like, or me wanting to go to places with them, but I know I can't because of I'm in the spotlight. Do you know what I mean? It's just a lot of disconnect, but at the end of the day, there's pros and cons to everything. So this is just what it is.
Well, I mean, the line is, find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Facts.
You must feel like you're living that exact dream now.
I'm living it, but still a long way to go.
Oh, well, I mean, looking at you, Kimberly, we've done the whole band experience.
Yeah.
But you must relate to what Leo is saying.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, great ambition that you can't deny. It just lives within you. It comes with great sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it's certainly being at the beginning and all of it opening up to you is so exciting. And you're just getting used to the fact what those sacrifices actually mean when it comes to friends and family and just the home comforts. But I think as you go on, you really do sort of realize that the price is big, but gosh, when you love what you do, it's just the best thing ever. And that sacrifice and ambition, I think ultimately, so the people that you grew up with will understand it as your message and what you're about finally sort of comes to fruition through the longevity that I'm sure you're paved to have.
Well, I mean, Kimberly, you're from a Grammy-nominated band, the Pussycat Dolls. It was just incredible. I mean, everybody wanted to be in that band.
Yeah.
But you talk about things coming at a sacrifice and at a high price. Well, what did that look like for you?
Well, I'd worked on cruise ships first and foremost, and drove to LA with a bag and a dream and couldn't find a place I could afford and just started auditioning.
Like a movie.
And dance was always what drove me. Dance is like, that's my soul. And so I started, luckily, through auditioning, doing lots of sort of film and television work, and then walked into an audition for Nick Lachey with the MTV season of Newlyweds. And luckily, the choreographer was the head of Pussycat Dolls and gave me a call, said, would you like to do it? And I was like, well, it looks like another paycheck. Hopefully it can help me pay the rent. So just sort of went for it. And gosh, that just became an absolute ride in itself. But yeah, the sacrifice, I mean, leaving home, never looking back, never taking no for an answer, whether I was booking those jobs or not, continually to knock on the door, find the way that I was going to get booked with sort of the aesthetic side of things, making sure I knew all the styles. I was a traditionally trained jazz ballerina, contemporary style dancer through competitions growing up, and realized I needed to learn street and I needed to learn it quick. So it was just like deep diving into all the classes. And luckily through that, that just opened up this whole window of a culture and a group of people that was my LA family. And through that, it gave me the support enough to know that when Pussycat Dolls came knocking, and gosh, when we landed Don't Ya, and that was overnight success around the world.
Iconic. It was iconic.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, because, Don't Ya was the #1 requested song by a different artist on radio in America, but they weren't selling any singles or they weren't selling any albums. So they sort of made the switch, gave it to us, and with Jimmy Iovine's backing, of course, gosh, it just was everywhere overnight. And nothing prepares you for that. Stepping into the spotlight and feeling that kind of love and buzz and just attention was unbelievable. But again, I'm quite a shy little girl. I never had loads of friends. I didn't know how to fit in. I found fitting in going into the dance studio and creating these incredible dances and lines and jumps and turns and fouettes and all sorts of things. So to finally have my spot now with the Pussycat Dolls, dressing in fishnets and corsets and feeling sexy and learning what it meant to sort of own your space and bring that into pop superstardom, it felt like a responsibility, but also just the best thing in the world. But yes, with great sacrifice.
I relate to so much of what you're saying because we're sort of born from the same fire,
yes.
if you like.
Yes.
I find it interesting that as a mum now, that of all the things that you've done, you've got your own school. So obviously it's still a line that you still follow and you bring in a new generation now. But you're encouraging your children to, I don't want to say follow in your footsteps because they'll find their own footsteps, but to certainly share in the passion of dance. So none of your experiences have put you off that.
You know what? Even the tougher experiences have sort of given me the fuel to want to do it. I think with being a dancing lady in the spotlight, it can be misconstrued as a lot of different things. So to be able to change that perspective with the next generation, as well as arm these kids with what they need when they step into entertainment, is so important.
I think it's a really lazy rhetoric that people roll out, especially when you get a group of women together. They go for the base level of feuding, costume changes. They all want the same outfit. They don't actually realise the camaraderie, the sisterhood, the solidarity that you need to be able to be on the road that long and to have a shared talent. They don't do it with guys. They go immediately for girls.
100%.
So this is something that I'm sure that is this something that you instill in your children or that you fight against?
100%, Myleene. I mean, women supporting women has become one of my biggest sort of causes, one of my biggest passions. And I guess because through dance and through all these different lovely styles of dance, there's so much camaraderie. There's so much unity through what we do because there's a passion and a purpose behind it. And then when you bring these lovely sort of performances to fruition and you see how misconstrued it can be, it just makes you want to run back to what you know and make sure the next group of people that are headed out to represent that know what it is, why it is, and how it is that they need to go out there and try and change the narrative. Because women need to be accepted. They need to feel confident. They need to know that they have each other and have each other's backs. And I think the only way I can make that happen is to start with the next generation and do a little bit better.
That's so right. Leo, you are the next generation, so you're coming up here in the ranks and finding your footing. But I'm sure because of your age and because of we saw you on The Voice at 14 years old, people will have already made up their minds, which can be so infuriating. What is the messaging that you want to get out there, or how do you want people to perceive you, or do you want them to? Are you just who you are?
In earlier years, I had a message and like a certain way I wanted to be viewed, but I feel like as I've gotten older, I've realised that you're just going to have to take me for who I am. And
well, if you've got Stormzy on your side, that's not a bad thing.
But it's like, my purpose here is to create and inspire. And it's like, if I'm creating and you're inspired by it, look at me as an inspiration. Do you know what I mean? And if not, then find someone else. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of my overall message. Like,
how are you looking to inspire people
I
that
feel
listen
like-
to your music?
I feel like just by allowing myself to experiment and not feel limited to what there is in this country. Because not going to lie, in like the scene that I'm in, it's very, 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 very quiet right now. Like there's nothing, like I feel like everything is kind of just drowned out when it comes to UK rap right now. And that's a conversation that everyone's having, like all over the country. Like,
Why do you think that is?
I feel like, one, the fact that people don't really like to support each other. Do you know what I mean? Everyone kind
Well, it
of...
then taps into exactly
really
what Kimberly was
does.
saying.
Absolutely.
Everyone has their own success and then just stays in their own bubbles. And I feel like another thing to older artists not tapping into upcoming and younger generations, which is why it's amazing that you've said that, because I feel like a lot of other people need to do it, because it's like, how are we going to keep our nation rising internationally as well? Do you know what I mean? But other than that, I feel like also that there's no inspiration. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's trying to find a new Sonic, but it's like people aren't really... I feel like the best way to do that is by connecting with other people. And if we're not connecting with other people, how are you going to move the Sonic? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
And
that's
get
exactly what
inspiration.
music is about. It's about
Facts.
connection, and this is the best way to do it because it's a universal language.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting that you think that it's quite a quiet space.
Yeah, it is right now. And it's like, I feel like the time will come when the people that have been putting in the work behind the scenes will get the love that they deserve. And I do have hope that within our scene, people will actually stop having such an ego and connect with each other. Do you know what I mean? That's all it needs to be.
Oh, well, the ego of artists.
Oh,
What are you going to
that's
do?
a whole nother topic.
So how do you get this incredible business and work acumen? Who's behind you? Because no one can do it alone. Who's the driving force, or who's guided you? How did you get to this point at such a young age?
To be honest, yeah, I feel like it's a mix of different people. What you see right now for the past couple, like 3 years, I would say, it's been my manager. And I feel like with finding my manager, it's like having someone to push you, in a sense of like, people like footballers and stuff, they have a coach that's on them 24/7. That's almost like how my manager is. And my manager doesn't play the role of like a normal music manager. He's ready to go above and beyond that as long as I'm proactive enough to show that I really want this. Do you know what I mean? So even when it comes to doing certain things, even though I might not want to do it, or I've had a little bit of success, hey bro, we haven't made it yet. So you best keep it pushing, keep it pushing. Even with my biggest song, it's on 70 something million streams, but that doesn't change nothing. You got to keep posting every day. Social media, obviously, that's what's driving a lot of my success. You got to stay posting consistently. When it's that time, when it's going off on TikTok and all of these things, that doesn't mean post less because it's working. Post more. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like just him having that mindset and being able to teach me and give me the game to make sure that I keep pushing in whatever I'm doing has kept me on the ball, because it's like, no matter what success there is, that's just a success for today. What's the win for tomorrow? Do you know what I mean?
Well, good question. What is the win for tomorrow?
We'll see when tomorrow comes.
Very profound. But for you, when, is it being able to, you were talking about, excuse me, on the way in, you were talking about, getting your own house, or, what does success look like for you? What's the great aim?
I feel like success doesn't come from any of those things. I feel like success just comes from loving myself and loving what I'm doing. And as long as my heart and soul is fully in it, and I feel like at the end of the day, I've got what I want to get across, whether it's onto an instrumental, whether it's by acting, whether it's by the smallest things, modeling, I feel like that's what success is to me, knowing that I want to do something and I'm going to do it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like all the material things, houses and all of these things, like watches and Like, we've been through all of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, when you're at the beginning of your career, you look at it like it's like, yo, but we've all had the experience of you might want to get a certain watch, you'll get it, then you realize it's like, oh, you got it now. So it's like all of the material stuff I've already learned from my age that it's really not that. Do you know what I mean? After a while, you just think, I've bought how much jewelry and I have nothing on right now. Do you know what I mean? And I'm saying that to say, like, that's never going to be like a dictator of my success. So I feel like it's just loving myself, loving what I do, and just doing what I feel like doing in the moment and not letting anyone tell me anything.
Well, you say not let anyone tell you anything, but I know that your greatest supporter is your mum.
Yeah.
I mean, how much has she told you, or how much have you been guided by her? Because I know that you speak very highly of her, which is, you know, we're mums, so this is exactly what we want to hear. What role but now is your mum playing in your life as a young adult?
In my life now, she's just there as my biggest fan. Like, everything that her son wanted to do is playing out. So it's like, all she has to do is just sit back and enjoy the fruits of her labor, innit? Like, she's loving it.
So, she must be so proud. Front row tickets to your mum every time.
Yeah, she loves it. I think there was even a clip on TikTok of me performing at my show, and she was like, I ran from the front all the way to the back of the venue, and she was at the back. And then I went there to perform, and all the lights were on us, and she was right there singing right next to me. And it's like, she's just playing the role of the biggest fan because she knows her son's going to get it every time. So, yeah, man. That's literally.
So lovely to hear you speak that way. Kimberly, I mean, it's lovely. The two of us feel like doting on Leo here. But what would you say about where the music industry is now and what our roles are in it, or what your own role is right at this moment?
Well, funny enough, I mean, the Pussycat Dolls were the very first 360 deal ever done in the music industry.
Well, there you go, because it's really changed.
It really was.
It?
We were the guinea pigs of, well, you know, with Napster and all the streaming things happening, you know, record labels were trying to figure out how they were going to stay above water. So really it became about partnerships with artists. And for us, you know, we were in a casting agreement. We were given a wage. It was very difficult with the amount of work that we were doing and sort of the payback. It certainly didn't add up.
So you don't feel that you were compensated in the way that you should have been?
No, it wasn't. It never been done before with the way
that
they
time.
handled. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I was like, fine, if that's what I have to sacrifice in order to live the dream, I'll do it and use it as sort of a stepping stone to whatever's going to serve me next in my life. So I guess going into that, and I guess with the way that it was set up, you know, if we didn't like something, if we were being worked too hard, if our bodies were aching, whatever, instead of being met with a grown-up conversation, it was met, well, we can just replace you. That was kind of just how it was set up. And you had to realize that this was run as a business and you're just a part of that machine. But at the same time, as much as you can look back and be like, what the heck did you do? We knew what we were signing up for. And if I went back, I would do it again. Because I got to live my dream. I got to, you know, be Grammy nominated. I got to win 2 VMAs for Best Dancing in a Video and Best Dance Video, which of course meant a lot to me coming from a big dance background.
Oh, you gave us empowerment about just actually standing and being really confident in our own bodies and unapologetic, which is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely.
I think there's a whole generation now that is standing on the shoulders of giants.
I'll tell you what, you know, DJing now and broadcasting on my radio show with hits, and I have a DJ dance show called Don't You Disco with dancers and choreography. We do a lot of pride events, and time again after I get off stage, I'm met with these beautiful people that come up in tears, needing me to know that when they were 17 and had nowhere to go to feel confident with who they were and how they were feeling, the dolls really gave them something. So to think that we could make an impact in that way is like, gosh, it was epic. But at the same time, where the music business has gone now, you wanted your artists to have more empowerment. You want them to be in control. And I think that at the same time has come at a price. I think that everybody can be sort of in control of their own destiny, but at the same time, you don't have as much sort of as much of a cushion behind a building and a machine getting behind you to get your music around the world. It's so much harder for artists to get out there and
You're
to
talking
travel.
About the conventional contracts.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think a lot is put on the artists to make it happen.
Pussycat Dolls, the reunion.
Yes.
It got thwarted by COVID.
It did. Yes.
Are we going to get it again?
I mean, I'd like to think so. I think through COVID, a lot of business dealings happened. So it was devastating to see a world tour pulled out from underneath us. We were set to do Glastonbury and all sorts. But
But that doesn't mean it can't happen.
That's how I feel. If optimism can keep it alive, I'm over here trying, having all the tough conversations. But ultimately, like I said, it has to be, the legacy of the dolls has to be about women supporting women and coming together for the greater good of inspiring the next generation.
Come on, dolls.
But come on,
Come on, dolls. Give
But
the people
since-
what they want. So, Leo, when did you first start writing your lyrics?
When I was like 4 years old.
No.
That's the earliest I can remember.
4.
Yeah.
What? I mean, you've got a 5-year-old. I've got a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I was writing at 4.
And what kind of things were you writing at 4?
I was writing things like, I don't know, stuff to do with school. Like, what else can you really rap about? Do you know what I mean? I was just
Well, I
writing
don't know. I don't know what 4-year-old lyrics. I can't imagine. Is your 5-year-old writing lyrics?
My now 10-year-old, she has always been an avid writer. So she
Yeah.
was always writing little
But
stories.
4's
But 4 is
really
very,
young.
very young.
And so who then noticed that, right, this is a wild talent? Was it family? Was it teachers? Was it yourself that you thought, well, I've just got to keep going here?
It was never really me because it was just kind of happening and I'm in the present moment. But I feel like it was teachers because like, as crazy as it is, I'm spending most of my time with them. My parents are always at work and all these things. But the way they're finding out is through bad things. Like, for example, Leo's very intelligent and gets all his work done, but he's just not always focused because he's always writing something else instead of writing the work. And it would be small things like that, like little dumb stuff that I would get in trouble for.
You got in trouble for writing your lyrics?
Yeah,
I
because it's like
can't
you're supposed to be
imagine
doing
that.
the work, but you're writing lyrics underneath the sheet of paper where you're meant to be doing the work. And it's like, over time, it's like these little things, it's like, okay, cool. So like, why is this such a recurring thing of something being music related and lyrics related? And then there was a moment in primary school when we did like a concert that was for our school and my parents attended it. And they saw, yeah, I understand it now. And from then, they got it.
And how old were you then? How old were you when they recognised there's a flash of something really special here?
Like maybe 8.
Wow.
When I was 8, that's when they know it. Because on the concert, like, I think it's like a company that come and they teach you lyrics and they teach multiple different schools like these songs so that on the day we all just meet up as one like massive school choir and we sing them. But for me, they wanted me to do a solo. Don't know why. Thank God that they chose me to do a solo. But the solo,
You must know why. You must know that something was shining.
I mean, I don't know, because these people don't know me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and for them to pick me to do a solo, usually when you do a solo, you're rapping, or if it's a rapper, you're rapping the lyrics that they give you. But for some reason, they allowed me to write my own, and I was the first and last person that was allowed to ever do that. I did
You were
it.
the last as well.
Yeah, and then I did that, and then from then, my parents understood it. Everyone understood, like, okay, cool, he's got something. And I was just in the moment, just like being Leo.
And what does that feel like to suddenly, at such a young age, be able to say, okay, I've settled into this. I found my stride. Okay, I know what I want to do. Because some people spend their whole lives not knowing what they want to do.
It just feels normal to me because at the end of the day, it's like being on autopilot. Like, you guys know how it feels like to even being on stage. Sometimes it's like in the moment, you're just on autopilot, just doing what you do. You know what I mean? But I feel like it just gives me a sense of gratitude because it's like, I'm grateful I found it early.
You've really diversified. It turns out you're a talent in the kitchen, celebrity master chef.
Ooh.
I can't even boil an egg. So I'm
Neither
in awe.
could I before that.
That's not true.
No, it is true.
That can't be
I
true.
When I was dating my now husband, he wanted me to make a cup of tea. Can I tell you, I put the bag with cold water and didn't know what to do next. I was
not.
hopeless.
So how did you win MasterChef?
I guess really it came down to being a competition kid and discipline and resilience.
So whatever it is, I'm going to win it.
Yeah, that's it. I will stay up and do the meal 3 times each night until
Wow.
I know what I'm doing on that Friday when we compete. And I'll tell you, those nights I'd get 2 going. The third, the baby would be in the bassinet crying just as everything's bubbling. I'd go to get to the baby, come back, everything be burnt. I would be in tears. It was a pretty stressful situation, but worth it for the win.
I would say so. Now you can make a good cup of tea.
I can.
Tips. What tips would you give for anybody that wanted to, well, I don't suppose it's just the music industry, but just any kind of industry where they might feel that they can't find their footing or it feels highly competitive? What advice would you give?
Well, I guess it goes to my 3 sort of rules within the academy, which is never say I can't, always say I'll try, and do your best. And I think that's all you can ever ask of yourself. It's all you can ever ask of others. And as long as you live by those sort of rules to yourself, then you're always giving your best shot at attaining your potential.
I always say to my kids when they say I can't, I will say yet.
Yet, absolutely.
What about you, Leo? Or what advice would you give to all the inspiring artists who want to break into the music scene and it just feels so overwhelming? Or just, again, just in life about pursuing what you want to go for?
Be you, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't be. No matter how weird it is to you or how weird it might be classed by other people or whatever it is, be you. Because I feel like the most successful people that we know are the most unapologetic and unorthodox people that we've ever seen.
Who do you look to? Who is the most unapologetic, unorthodox person for you?
That's a very, very good question.
Who do you look at and think, okay, that's exactly the path I need to be on? Or who do you glean inspiration from?
Do you know what's crazy? It wouldn't be anyone musically.
Okay.
It would be people like my mom. It would be people like my manager. It would be people like certain friends that I have. That's like, there's traits that you guys have that even though we might not be in the same field, I know if I was to adopt these certain traits and habits, I could make myself as unapologetic as you guys are. Do you know what I mean?
I totally know what you mean.
Someone like my mom, she might say something and she's going to make sure she stands on it, no matter how anyone feels about it. Or do something that I might not understand, but I might understand it later. And that's a trait that I've always taken with me and brought into my music, where it's like, I'm going to do what I feel, whether it's on a track, whether it's on a podcast, I'm going to say how I feel and stand on it. Do you know what I mean? And not let anyone tell me anything, because at the end of the day, that's just how I feel. Do you know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say, just be yourselves and don't let anybody tell you that you can't be you.
I love that of all the idols that you could have chosen, or all the influencers or artists that you've chosen, your mom.
The best one.
It shows that whatever she's just been showing you, because what is it? It's 90% what you do, 10% what you say. She must have been showing you all the way.
100%. 100%.
Try not to be your mum, but I'm like, oh my God, Leo. Kimberly, I remember one of my scariest meetings. I don't know if you've ever had this meeting, and I hope you never do, but it was with the accountants who suddenly hit us with where all the money was going from the band. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't going on the jewellery, and it wasn't going on the lavish lifestyles, or let's buy cars, or I don't know, holidays. It was going on leaving the cars waiting that were picking us up.
Oh my gosh.
And it went into the tens of thousands. And I still remember just looking at the numbers.
As in every time you leave the car
there's
waiting outside.
5 of us. So imagine 5 of us leaving the cars waiting every single day for 3 months.
Yeah.
Going in different directions and then waiting to pick us all up and take us in different directions. That
Swear all the money was
expensive.
going, what?
Yes. So I was thinking, oh yeah, like you pop stars and their sort of vicarious, lavish lifestyles. And I'm like, you mean that we've just run it all up on Addie Lee?
Oh my,
It's got to be kidding me.
It's expensive to be a female pop star.
Absolutely.
And I've never looked at it in that way. That's
but
crazy.
it's the things, it's the support system, or the cogs that are rolling around
And
in
the hair
background.
and the makeup
The hair,
and the
the makeup,
costumes
getting
and the
ready,
choreography and the rehearsals.
Yeah. And so you see the 3 minutes of sparkle. It's like anything. You train as a dancer, I train as a pianist. And so everything behind the scenes just looks, well, okay.
Just to prop up
I
the
feel
moment.
like that's everything though.
It is.
Like
but
that,
I think it was the biggest hidden cost I just never expected coming.
That is nuts.
Oh, it was.
That was nuts.
And then after that, I became sort of militant with the cars. I feel like the car's going to be there in 5 minutes. Are you in the car? Can you two share a car? Can all 5 of us share a car? And suddenly it was just a different animal.
Stopped waiting for anybody that was late. It's like, no, get this one going.
Absolutely.
Get this one going, get it ended. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have noticed your talent. Mm-hmm. Some huge named artists. What was a real pinch me moment for you?
Sometimes they just tell me like, slow down. Like, you've done a lot for your age already. And it's like, certain things you can't fix. It's just going to be time. Do you know what I mean? And with music, a lot of things you don't learn, like, and I'm talking experiences. Obviously, you can learn how to do certain things better, but there's certain things that you just learn from life. Do you know what I mean? And that could even be, for example, saving money. I used to get told, save your money because it's going to disappear if you don't. And you don't understand until you're at 0. And that's when you get it and you know, okay, cool. Next time, this, that, and the third. And you wouldn't have learned that from just being told. You had to experience it. So I'm saying that to say, them telling me that I'm young and that I need to just slow down and allow time to do certain things, I feel like that just opened my eyes to realize that, okay, cool. Maybe me taking it easy back then allowed me to think the way that I think now, just with time and just allowing things to play out the way they're supposed to play out. And I feel like that's the best piece of advice I've taken because I can always use that.
It's great that you take it.
Yeah.
Some people would say, no, I'm going to do it my way.
I mean, you have to, you know what I mean? Like the world wouldn't be the way it is and we wouldn't all be here right now if there wasn't other people in the world. So it's like taking their advice. You kind of have to.
And they say never meet your heroes, but you've had the opportunity to meet so many incredible people and have so much great advice given to you. But what's been the moment when you've thought, no, is this really happening?
I'm not going to lie, yeah. When I've met people, I haven't felt like that. But when I've had certain experiences, I felt like that. And that might be opening up at the O2 at 17 or performing at Wireless or all of these things that I've always wanted to do. Meeting people to me isn't ever going to make me freak out or anything because at the end of the day, we're all human. Do you know what I mean? And we're all in the same field. I look at everyone that I'm meeting now as my peers, but I just never knew when I was going to meet them. But you see, the experiences is something that's like, I'll go home and scream about that stuff or like just freak out and tell all my friends and tell everyone around me because like this really happened. And I feel like those moments is what matters more to me because at the end of the day, we're all human. Relevance comes and goes. Being a superstar at this very moment and being the hottest thing, trending topic, it's going to go eventually. Do you know what I mean? Everything comes to an end at some point. So, but them memories and those moments that have happened, they're never going to go. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's what matters more to me than meeting anybody.
Well, I would say the same thing to you, Kimberly. What would you say was a standout? I mean, it's so difficult because you've achieved so much. But for you personally, what moments have been, is this real?
Oh my gosh, so many, honestly. I guess being a little girl growing up in a tiny town in the middle of America, watching the music videos is where I found my inspiration. And Missy Elliott was like an
Missy
ultimate.
Elliott, legend.
Oh, Busta Rhymes was an ultimate. They just did videos and dance in such a different way. So, you know, first song with Busta, I was just like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, meeting with Missy Elliott and getting to perform with her was just unreal. But I think the ultimate was probably Snoop Dogg. I mean, you have this idea of who he is. He comes walking in literally in a puff of smoke to do the Buttons video. And it was just like everything you'd sort of wanted in this legend to come walking through. And then to realize, as you said, he's just a really cool, laid back, awesome human being. And we just had the best time.
I mean, look, I guess we were around the same sort of era and have come from different backgrounds. But there's a unifier, and that's music and it's art and family, which we all share. Is there anything that you've heard today, Leo, that you think, oh, actually, I think I'll draw on that, or actually never considered it that way? As you start out sitting with the aunties.
We got you.
We have got you, by the way.
I feel like that. Thank you. I feel like it's kind of crazy, yeah. But literally what we just spoke about. Yeah. As in like...
perspective of spend.
Yeah, but even on a deeper level though, like it's put me into like a thought of like, I'm always going to look at it deeper than what it is. Like, cool, it's a perspective on spend, but it's like, that could even be like a perspective on spend of your energy.
Yeah, 100%.
What you're putting your energy into and all of these things. Or it could even be your priorities. Like you're prioritizing this, not knowing that it's hindering this in the background or this, that and the third. So I feel like
negative equity.
Yeah, I feel like things like that should always just stay in the back of your mind so that the things that you're doing, if you do something positive, it causes a positive multiplier instead of a negative multiplier. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's a bit like overthought, but
not remotely. I think you've got a very wise head on your shoulders.
Thank you. But
so
yeah,
pass on my love to your mum.
Most definitely.
I could see her emanating from you, and I haven't even met her.
I need to take notes from your mum. That's my goal, is to be that mum in the audience for my kids one day.
We'll bring her next
time. Running to you at the back with the spotlights on. I feel like that's actually your dream, Kimberly.
That's my dream. I just figured it out.
Kimberly, Leo, honestly, it's just been like hanging out, just backstage, as it feels like. Thank you so much. It's been really lovely spending today with you.
Thank you
I've
for
actually
having
really
me.
loved
Thank
it.
you.
I really have.
Amazing. Appreciate
I
it.
feel like sort of matriarchal. I'm like, well done, Leo. That's great. Who said that? Well, who wrote that report? I'll find them.
Thank you so much.
Not
We're
at
now
all.
very protective of you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
The
it.
aunties are on side. We've got you. So I'd now like to introduce Boots Opticians frame buyer and style consultant. This is Jake Lawrence Barber. We're going to glean some top tips to selecting the most stylish glasses all around your face shape. So Jake, lovely to
Yes.
have you here with us.
Thank you for having
I mean,
me.
look, Leo and Kimberly, beautiful faces.
Obviously.
Goes without saying. But how do we help them find the right shape glasses? Well, I think right shape glasses for their face, but is it down to shape?
I think shape plays a really important part, but it's not the only thing that we really want to talk about and look at, really. So main thing when I talk about visuals is also down to kind of your skin tone and your complexion. Certain colours obviously can help warm you up, cool you down. Everyone knows, you don't put cool in a cool all the time, because sometimes that is quite cold and can be quite not great for your
I
skin tone.
don't think everyone does know that.
Well, then let's talk about it. So I think that it's really important to kind of understand your face shape, your complexion, and also your hair colour plays a really big part in it. So,
I mean, I don't know what my original hair colour is.
Well,
do you have to match it to your original hair colour?
no, I'd
Okay.
go with what you have right now, or what at least you're switching into tomorrow. So
That's it. My husband went through this and he thought, oh, let's look at all the tortoise shell. He couldn't wait, look at all of them. And he gets back and she has all the silver ones picked out.
Is he a silver fox?
Now he is.
But that's the thing. It's also down to things like that. So, pulling in all of those details that you have are amazing. And they are really great fundamental starting points when you talk about picking your style and starting from there. The big thing for me, and I think it's something we really want to talk about Boots Opticians, is it's not just about that part. It's also about how you feel in your glasses. You have to be happy. You have to be confident. They are an extension of your style, your image, your look. I mean, we are talking to two people here who are all, they're in the public eye all the time, and image and style are part of also your personal life and your stage persona. So, when we're looking at frames today, we were looking at things such as like this Gucci for Leo is amazing because, yes, it's very much of the moment with the trends where we're talking about wrap styles are quite important at the moment. So wrap around styles, that is, and then sporty details. So this is kind of a sport luxe vibe with rubber temples and detailing. So there's all different things that come up from that. But the Gucci we've got on the table is about kind of that rubber detail. It's a sports luxe feel.
Right.
And it kind of goes with also like Leo's aesthetic, where it's not just about, it's not all gold and glam. It's also about having something versatile with everything you wear. That's where you kind of have details that upsell it and make it feel more special. And, vice versa, when we're looking with Kimberly,
I want golden glam.
I think I want gold temples now.
well, we went for the Prada because, to be honest, it is such a bold statement shape.
Oh, I love
I
those.
do. I love
Like,
Love.
it's a perfect
Oh,
pair.
there she is.
There you go. So it works brilliantly. I mean, black is a classic. It does go with most things. There are certain colours that don't mix with black and brown, should never be seen at times.
Okay.
But when it comes to sunglasses, a bold statement black pair are a winner. You can never go wrong with a black sunglass. Optical, slightly different, but sunglasses, always a winner.
Got it. A good staple. Which ones do you like?
I like
Leo?
these Gucci ones right here.
You got Leo down to a T. He likes those.
The other pair I actually pulled out for Leo that we were looking at was also a Prada. So
Oh,
That-
yeah.
I like
Ah,
winner.
fab.
So again, similar detail with the rubber temples, again, that sports luxe feel. But what's different about these is being an aviator,
Yeah.
that has been probably the biggest trend this season for men and women especially. Previously, it's always been for men. This year, it's been massive for women as well. But it's just something to really play around with and kind of find your right style. I mean, we have over 40 brands at Boots Opticians. So
Honestly, it was just when I went into the store, I couldn't believe how much.
there's so many to choose from. We have something for everyone's style, everyone's taste, everyone's face shape. But yeah, I think we've got everything from, we've got the Gucci, we've got the Prada, but, we go everywhere. I mean, we've got the smart glasses that you're in. So
I mean, you ready? I'm going to film you right now. Ding.
Oh my
I just took a photo of you gorgeous peoples. Jake, Leo, Kimberly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
It's
us.
been lovely.
A huge thank you to all my guests on See What's Possible, showing that, well, anything is possible. And of course, thank you to you for listening.